It is Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. So as someone who is, or someone who is taking care of someone who's struggling with food, understanding ARFID itself is a really important first step. So ARFID is a relatively new diagnosis that was first introduced in the DSM-5. So this is the diagnostic manual that mental health professionals use to characterize, diagnose, and know which direction to take with different mental health difficulties. So it's characterized by a significant disturbance in eating or feeding, which can lead to some serious health challenges. So people with ARFID may be more likely to experience really significant weight loss or difficulty in gaining weight, nutritional deficiencies because their diet is so limited, and also might even rely on nutritional supplements or feeding tubes to get the nutrients that they need. And importantly, ARFID can cause a lot of social difficulties, like avoiding meals with friends, loved ones, during celebrations even. So one thing that really sets ARFID apart from other eating disorders like anorexia, bulimia, is that people with ARFID typically don't have concerns around body shape or weight. Instead, those with ARFID, their food avoidance is usually linked to reasons like sensory sensitivities, fear of some type of consequence from eating, usually negative, or simply a lack of interest in food. So those with ARFID don't tend to want to lose weight like typical eating disorders, people who struggle with typical eating disorders. So let's take a closer look at some of the key reasons of why someone with ARFID might avoid food. So the first one I mentioned was sensory sensitivities. Some people with ARFID find certain foods have really intense or strange tastes, textures, or even smells. So they might feel safer only eating familiar foods that they know very well. The second one is food-related fears. So others may have negative experiences with food like choking, vomiting, or an allergic reaction. And these experiences can cause a lot of anxiety around eating. And people may start avoiding those foods that remind them of those not so nice moments. Naturally, we're trying to protect ourselves. The third one is a lack of interest in food. So still others might not feel hungry very often, or they might think eating is a chore. The most typical comment we might get is that if there was a pill to just have and not having to eat the rest of the day, they'd be much happier. But this means that they tend to have unintended consequences, like getting full quickly as a result, and therefore eat less. So it's important to remember that ARFID is a psychiatric disorder, and it's not about someone just being picky or stubborn. People with ARFID actually have a lot of biological and psychological reasons for food avoidance. And once those patterns of avoidance are established, they can become really, really difficult to change. But here's the good news. There are steps that we can take. So most of the work that we'll be using and doing throughout this process is based on CBT-AR, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for ARFID, which we'll later cover throughout this course. And it will help us to help you implement practical strategies for managing food-related anxiety, expanding your food choices, and also improving overall health. Before we move forward, I want you to take a moment to reflect on your current eating habits, or those of the person that you're supporting. So please ask yourself, do I avoid certain foods because of how they feel and how they smell, or something else about that's like the sensory part of it? Am I anxious about eating because of a past experience? So have I had a significant impacting experience where I've felt really sick or maybe even choked? Do I find that I'm not very interested in eating, or that I get full really quickly? Do I rely on supplements or nutritional drinks because I struggle with certain foods? So write some of these thoughts down, some of your answers down as well. They are on your workbook. And if any of these sound familiar, it's a great idea to speak with a healthcare professional who specializes in eating behaviors, like myself or someone else who also has a nutrition degree, nutrition background, and a health psychological background as well. So, like I said, understanding ARFID is just the beginning. You don't have to go through this all on your own, and we're going to be taking small steps along the way. So this is hopefully maybe even just day one of your whole journey. Okay, so later on in this course and throughout this course, we're going to be diving deeper into CBT-AR and how it can help you manage your ARFID symptoms. So if you ever feel like you need more personalized guidance, please don't hesitate to book a session with me. And let's carry on working together to improve your relationship with food.